Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Skibblings! Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack Podcast, episode 360, Switch Flip. I'm here with Donnie, as I am every week, as well as Delvin, who we missed very much last week, and
Did we?
Jason Lacey. Yes, I miss Delvin very much.
Thank you.
And Jason, it's always good to have you on the show. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Fuck you, Jason.
Jason, I'm glad to have you here.
I may have been harassing Delvin about his birthday coming up in April.
Come to the podcast. We told you we'd move it into the middle of the day. You have all night for your debauchery.
I still have to go to work.
Take the day off. Nobody's going to
Y'all
work
are
that
planning
day.
way ahead to April? Oh, the April 2nd, that day.
Yeah.
Tell him,
Big day.
Rebecca.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Delvin. I was really upset last week. I don't know if you watched the episode or
I
listened.
heard. I
I
watched it all.
actually cried. I had tears coming down
I
my
didn't watch
face.
You need to bat those eyes or something.
No, I can't.
Show
gonna
leg.
talk.
No.
I mean, Delvin, I took the day off of work because I thought you were going to be there.
No, you didn't. You put the off because of the Switch too. It's okay.
But if not everyone was going to be there, you're an important part of the team.
You're an important part of this podcast, Delvin Cox.
No, I'm not.
You're a valued
We have
member of
Jason
this
now.
society.
Jason.
Oh, I'm going to work that day. I'm not taking the
He's-
day off, but
He's white Delvin.
Hi, Delvin.
wait.
Glasses. Bald head.
Jason-
Delvin, we'll talk.
Jason is putting an extended meeting on his calendar
That's right.
that morning. Important meeting with vendors. Do not disturb.
That's smart. That is very, very smart, actually.
Need to update my name. Hold on here. I don't even know how to do
Wait,
that.
White Delvin.
White Delvin.
Yeah, that's like
That's very good.
what's that song that my guy had back in the day? What, White Iverson? What is his name?
Jason
Post
Williams?
Malone.
No, it was a song. Post Malone.
Oh, I have no idea.
But back when he used to claim he was a rapper.
I love Post Malone.
Speaking of Post Malone, I've had several things, Rebecca, that I've wanted to talk to you about for
let's talk.
weeks.
Let's
And
do it.
every time we do this podcast, for whatever reason, I think it's between pulling all the levers and doing the notes and everything, I always forget to bring them up.
Is it about Taylor and Posty?
No, God, no. Like, what? Absolutely
I
not.
don't know what any of this is.
Actually, I don't even think it has anything to do with Post Malone. I think I may even have my people mixed up, but I don't even know. All right, so I got a couple things, and we have to do them quickly because we have a show to do, but a few things. One of the games that I bought over our extended break back in December was Live Alive, which I picked up on eBay for $14, and I was like, okay,
What a great
that's a really good deal, right?
That is a steal.
And I played it for 30 minutes and was like, absolutely the fuck not.
Well, I knew that was going to happen.
And
I'm
I
surprised
turned
you
it.
got- you
I
got 30,
turned
wow.
it right off, like immediately. I was like, "Oh, this is
Wait,
the thing. Everybody loves this."
but that's not even enough time to do more than one storyline. Which one did you pick?
I tried. I looked on Reddit. And
They're all vastly different.
I looked on Reddit, and everyone told me to start with the caveman, and I was not digging it. And I was like, "Oh,
Well, then if you don't like that, then try a different one. Like
Try a different story?
All of them are short. None
Are
of
any
them
of them
are more
fun?
than like.
I'm not
Yes.
going to.
like fun though, but like fun, like do stuff."
Yes.
Okay, all right. Which one would you
Try-
recommend?
I think a lot of people started with the Imperial Japan one because that was one of the ones that was in the demo. I think that was the one
yeah.
I started with.
Okay, like
that one
sword and
doesn't-
stuff.
Well, that if you don't like the RPG fighting, that's a good one to do because
Okay, now we're talking.
you can like kind of stealth your way through and kind of figure it out without
No.
doing any of the
I
battles.
was waiting for that
I'm telling
reaction.
you, this is
Maybe
a
never
game.
mind. Okay,
If-
maybe never
another
mind.
one that doesn't have any fighting is the Far Future one because it
The
takes
one
place-
that doesn't have any fighting. That's not the answer.
That's
Like,
not helping at all.
Okay.
Not
I
even a
thought you
little
didn't
bit.
Switching-
like RPG fighting
switching
stuff.
gears. The other thing that I've been desperately wanted to talk to you about
I guess we're
is
done
all
talking
of this. this Nirvana reunion stuff that's going on. Did you see the Fire Aid whatever?
No, I love Nirvana. What's going on?
Okay, so do you know what Fire Aid is?
No.
All right, so 2 weeks ago there was a concert held in LA to raise money for all the people that lost their homes
Fire
and stuff.
Aid. Oh yeah. Okay,
Fire
okay,
Aid.
okay.
Yeah, I know about this.
And they had a bunch of musical like literally it was like a 7-hour stream on Netflix or something. So Dave and Pat and Chris,
Novoselic?
they got all back together and they did a little Nirvana reunion, and Dave's daughter sang on one, which was okay. It was good. And, like, she's fine.
Oh, they got to
But
get Francis.
St. Vincent sang on another one, on Breed, and it was
I wanna watch
fucking epic. Like, I was like, wait a minute though. Like, why is it so good?
Thank you for telling me about that. I'm gonna watch it after this.
Didn't Post Malone just do this with them too this weekend, or do I have my rapper singers confused? I think I just saw a video of him doing it like this past week, which is what reminded me of it. And the bit that I saw on TikTok was not as good. It was not. You don't have to go out of your way to watch that. My wife was like, "Please don't." She's like,
Dre?
I don't know.
Dr.
Who?
Dre? Is that Dr. Dre? It says stars
What?
include Billie Eilish, Pink, Katy Perry, Nirvana, and Dr.
That's
Dre.
the whole show. Yeah, you'll have to find the clip of the Nirvana one.
I was
Look at
trying-
Nirvana reunion Breed.
Yeah. I'm gonna go watch
Post
it. I was
Malone
trying to.
comments to myself.
What's
You don't like
keep them
Post
say them?
Malone? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so Nirvana performs with Post Malone
Oh, Green
at
Day
SNL
was there.
at SNL 50, and Green Day was great. My wife, we scrubbed through the whole show. So yeah,
I love
Post
Green Day.
Malone at SNL at Saturday Night Live, he did Nirvana with those three again, and I did not like it as much. But maybe other people do. If you love Post Malone, maybe you think it's amazing.
I mean, I
I th-
don't love Post Malone, but I do like Post Malone.
When it comes to, like we talked about, maybe with Life is Strange, for me, when it comes to covering songs, if you're going to sing Nirvana, then you need to be like, you need to be kind of on it. Like, you need to be good at it. Like, or don't do it at all. You know,
They
like
were
I
my
do
favorite
feel,
for a long time.
I think when you reach like a certain era, right, of a legacy, like I'm all fine for everybody covering songs and sampling music and stuff. That's great. But there are certain acts where it's like, maybe don't if you can't
gotta-
though.
You got it.
Yeah.
It has to be a right kind of special.
Correct. And so that's the thing where it's honestly two thoughts there, right? I thought St. Vincent was amazing. I was like, I would pay to watch just do a whole album and I'll buy it. Like, this is great. And then Post Malone, I was like, oh, please don't. Like, this is Tarnished Shaker. It's legacy. Like, please don't do this. I thought the same thing. I just lost it. Somebody else covered them. The guy from Puddle of Mud. He always singing Nirvana covers. Like, please stop.
Ooh.
Stop.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, since we've several instances over the show's history, we've talked a little Nirvana. I wanted to bring that up to you, and I just keep forgetting.
Yeah, Donnie, I think we have similar taste in music, so that's good.
I'm telling you, the Breed is like maybe my favorite Nirvana song too. So like, I'm sure that's helping. But she also just nailed it though. like she's just like this is really good. Way better than she did Running Up the Hill, I think, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I hated that. So anyway, that's it. We can get back to the show. Sorry, everybody.
Yay. I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy what you played of Live Alive. I mean, you are someone who does not really like, JRPGs to begin with.
I really don't.
So
Yeah.
At all.
I don't. But like 14 is a steal for that
I
game.
bought it for the
and,
shelf. I literally shelf. I was like, I'll just put it on the shelf.
I mean, that's valid. That's valid.
I can't tell you how many games I've bought just to like keep adding to the pile. I'm like, I mean, come on,
that's
it's
a good one to have
$12. Like,
collection.
if I can ever buy like a physical Switch game for like less than $15, like I'm kind of in. Like not like just trash. Like I'm not gonna buy like, I don't know, farming kart racer sims or something, But like if it's an actual game from an actual developer, and it's less than $15 on cartridge in a box, I'm probably, because we don't get deals. It's not like discs, right? We've talked about this before, but PlayStation 4 discs, you can end up finding a sale on PlayStation 5 and 4 games for like $1. Like, especially Xbox games, they'll pay you to take them. They're like, will you please get these off our shelves? That's not the case with Switch stuff. Like even a mediocre bad Switch game physically is going to run you $20, $25. So if I can find a deal, I'm in.
you will pay full price all the time, and you will like it.
That's about it.
Yeah, I don't think any of the other ones are real. I don't think it's going to draw you in super duper much just because of the overarching genre. But do try a few of the others just to see if like those storylines vibe with you. None of them are more than like 2 or 3 hours long.
Didn't one of them have like wrestling?
There is a
like. Do you wrestle?
Wrestle? Like, hold on, let me see.
Like Rey Mysterio, he's just in the game.
There is like
I thought it was like a lucha thing. Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's.
I haven't played it, but I remember seeing that.
The Reddit was like, you have to start with a caveman. It's the most friendliest to new users, and I was like, this is boring as hell. Like I'm just running around, like waiting for this dust storm to spin up. I was like, oh, this is bad. I like that. This is probably my first game that I've bought. No, it's not, because I played a lot of the Dragon Quest game. It's one of the first few games that I've bought to have that that HD 2D pixel art stuff. You know, because I never got into Octopath. I never did that before.
Yeah, I think it's a boss, Odio Bright. He has a diving DDO, celestial palm, German suplex, or aloha slap.
Oh, but the story isn't wrestling though.
Yeah, and a Frankensteiner.
Okay.
So.
It's like lucha, like fighting. It's like
you had it, lucha, luchadors.
Different kinds of fighting. So like wrestling, lucha, kubo, sambo, sumo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I bought it for you.
That one's present day.
I did my part.
Yeah,
I'm doing my part.
From Street Fighter.
I respect it.
That one is kind of like a Street Fighter type of clone. Yeah. I did go and download a bunch of those what was it called? Something, whatever those games were on sale for like 99.
The cheap games. Yeah.
Delvin, turn your headphones up.
Turn my headphones up or
your microphone. I'm making a joke. Turn
gotcha.
your headphones up.
How about
there
that?
you go. There it is.
Sound like very loud on my
Cubic
headphones.
Games? Is that what they're
Yes.
called?
Yes.
I spent $7 and I added it up. It was $150 normally.
See?
I picked 10 games.
Wow.
The most expensive, like normally being Bee Simulator, because I said I wanted to try that one. And me and Josh were playing it last night, and he was like, "Oh, you got this for $1.58. Like, what? This is gonna be so stupid. I wish they would make like a real big Bee Simulator game." And I'm like, "Gosh, that's what this is."
Right.
And so we booted up, and it
literally
is
the name of the game.
It is the funniest thing ever. It is like you're literally a bee. It starts with you being like hatched or whatever, born, and then like you leave the colony and you have to collect pollen, and it's like the whole thing is like a educational save the bees type of message. Like this is why bees are important, and it's like different types of pollen that you can collect, and then you have to go see the queen bee to get like your job. And I wish. But there's voice acting in it, and like it's like full range camera movement, like there's a lot of controls and stuff. We only played like 20-30 minutes of it, not even. But it was really funny. Like all these games I feel like I'm gonna get like maybe 30 minutes most enjoyment out of, and that's fine.
Wow.
I didn't try any of the others yet, but can I just list what I bought?
Please do.
I did KO the Kangaroo, because isn't that supposed to actually be a good game?
It is, yeah. GameCube game.
Golf Club Nostalgia.
Love it.
Yeah, you love that one.
Great game.
What the Duck on your
I have played it.
Did you like it?
It is janky as fuck. Like it is such like game made in Roblox or Minecraft jank. Like but here's the funny part. I mean, it is buggy as hell. It's kind of fun though. like it does have a thing, so it's funny. It has like these little comic. It barely runs on Switch. It's really holding it together.
Listen,
but it's like
19 cents.
Yeah, right. It's kind of has like
$19.99. Normally $20.
It kind of has like what I would call like very like unpolished like Pal World jank. But I'll give you the short pitch of it. Think like it has like an open world, so you run around. So think like Fortnite or like I dare say Zelda. And you have like a sword, and you go and hack things and collect materials, and then you can buy things and whatnot. And then you go see a scientist who unlocks your inner animal, which is a duck. It's your spirit animal, and it's a duck. And your duck can do things, so it can like teleport, and it can fly around. You can control it,
Oh, no.
and then you go off and you start like a quest. You're trying to like get this girl to like be your girlfriend, and she like hates you, and she likes this other guy. So I mean, she like hates him. She's like, I don't. Please stop talking to me. And he's just like so, jockey in his own mind. He doesn't even like listen to her. He's just like out to get her. So you run around and you fight people, you and your duck. Like you have like duck moves, and then you have like sword moves, and you can like roll and dodge. And just think like if Fortnite was like a single player game like that. Like it is very, that's like the
19 cents
movement
worth it.
style.
What the hell is
Yeah.
a duck move?
And you can like
Is he pooping on people?
He's like pecking
so
you.
no, but like other birds that you fight, so it kind of has like this Pokemon thing. Like there are animals in the world that you can fight to level up and stuff. There are crows, and the crows do poop on you or spit on you. I guess maybe like
See?
something white comes out of the crow and hits you.
That's concerning also. And
Birds
Just
are
whatever
assholes.
that is.
Arise, because that one
I
actually
beat it
looks
this
like
week.
a real game. Is that
I beat
worth
it.
$1.49?
Absolutely, it's very good. Yep.
Pocket Golf Mini, which probably was not worth 9 cents, but
Probably not.
it was 9
Definitely not.
cents. This one I was curious about. Timothy and the Mysterious Forest. It's like a top down. It kind of looks like a Game Boy game, like a Zelda type of Game Boy game, but for 19 cents, who knows? Hair dye, because it looked cute.
I like it.
You're a hairdresser and you cut and dye people's hair.
Oh, this is my favorite thing.
I like
Color Road and Race Die Run. They're
Ooh.
like racing games.
Yeah. I remember that one.
One of them looked kind of like F-Zero.
I got one of those in I think the free games, the Switchmas thing. I think I got that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So $7 even on the dot. We'll see. Only tried Beat
14,000
Simulator
games.
so far. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Nice.
That's cool.
Like those
Proud of
humble
you.
bundles where you spend like $10 and you literally get like 400 games.
Just 100 games. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
All right, I talked
did
too
the same.
much.
I did the same. I bought the golf club, that pocket mini golf, because like I had to. Apparently, I needed to own another one to get the discount. So I bought that. I bought the golf club nostalgia, and then
Yarden. April 2nd needs to get here quick. We're talking about 16-cent shovelware games.
that's all we have, Yarden. That's all we have.
Hey,
And,
hey, listen.
Yeah.
That is this show's legacy. We've done that since the beginning. If you're just bringing this up now, I've got bad news for you, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for years.
That's very
It's like-
funny.
Oh, it's like the Wii U drought all over again.
Oh boy.
Back-
I found this hidden gem of a game, Pocket Golf, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I've been doing lately. Is if a game's under $5, apparently I buy it, because I looked at my list and I've bought more games in the past 2 months than probably the entire year, and the most I've spent is $5.29. So-
That's because those sales are good. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I take that back. First Squadron was a $7 game, so oof.
I
Ooh,
bought that yesterday.
spending.
It's on sale for $2.
Son of a.
Where?
It's First Squadron. That's that Star Fox thing we were telling you about, Delvin,
Yeah, where can I get it for $2 at?
on the eShop.
Okay, perfect. That's what I'm be doing
Yeah.
today.
Jason said it's an hour long.
Yeah, there's not much there. It's like there's 6 levels, I think, and they're not that long. So it all depends if you die at the boss, and then you got to replay the whole level again, which is annoying. But it's like, to me, it feels like a tech demo a little bit, or just like some kind of it. Like for what it is, I think there's some cool presentation there, and it's like it does feel like Star Fox, but it's just like watch the trailer for the new sequel they announced, and
Right.
then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This was
It's like they
let's get
sold
the
us their
concept
in.
together.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's get the concept together. Let's get some money, and then we'll make the real game. Because this is all like it's Star Fox if you were stuck in like a retro wave screensaver, right? The whole
Yeah.
game is just like that. You got the sun and the digital scrolling, and it's I don't know. The aesthetic gets old, I think, after a bit, but I think it
Do
was
the
the
animals
excuse of
talk to
like
each other in gibberish?
yes, the gibberish is there.
I'm all in.
That's all there. You got
Love
it.
it.
So it's all right. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I did it. I did the thing. So pro gamer,
Solid.
But
Got it. Damn right.
I mean, for $7, right? You can get a couple hours out of it. So
$2. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jason.
exactly.
I saw that yesterday when I bought the game, and I was like, I need to tell Jason. I was like,
In
No,
honor, I would
I-
say I even wore the Star Fox.
I seriously thought to myself, JJ, you love this. I was like, I need to tell
Nice.
Jason. I go, nah, let's save it for the podcast.
Son of a bitch.
I was like, oh no, Jason just bought that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
hate when
I
that
think
happens.
this is what I needed though. I needed like these weird little cheap, janky kind of things because
Palette
I
cleanser.
I bought Mario RPG. I got a deal on that physically, and it was like the first physical game I bought forever. And I've played that for like 30 minutes, you know,
See?
and then it's been like weeks, and then I've
You
now
need some
played
bee simulator in your life.
exactly.
That'll
I'm
get you out
playing
of the
what?
rut.
This I played the little bit of Golf Club Nostalgia last night, and then was it Greece? Is that the correct way to
Greece,
pronounce
yeah.
that? Yeah, I started playing
Gree.
Greece. I started playing
It's
that. too,
Gris.
so.
But yes,
Yeah, that's what we say it the right way here.
the developer said it's this way.
They're wrong. They're wrong.
This feels like the NES and NES debate all over again.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
And then what's that other
GIF
one
and
that
GIF?
the one I was hoping to play is like that weird kind of like steampunky detective one, Game Deck.
Oh,
Definitive
yeah.
Edition. So
Yeah.
I got that one too. So we'll see what that's all about. But that was a $30 game for $2. So
Sure.
just hoping.
That one has actual like review. There was a mobile game, and on mobile,
Mm.
people liked it a lot. So, it had like a mobile
where's
game of the
D-Life? I'll
year
ask
type
him.
stuff. Yeah, he would know. I'll go. So I like I said, I also played a bunch of those games. So I played What the Duck, and as janky it is, I think I'm gonna keep playing it. Like it is kind of fun. I have beat Arise. It is very good. Not like great. I think that kind of holds it back a bit. It is. I like the title of the game is Arise: A Simple Story, and I love that they put simple in it because it is just kind of a simple game. I do think you'll like it a lot, Rebecca. It is kind of that narrative adventure game. It has puzzles. Some of the moments I think like reach higher than that game. Like there is one segment in the game. So the way that it's a platforming game, so you run and jump around as you advance the story and you like unlock these memories and everything's just kind of, it's not told to you, it's just kind of interpreted. But the mechanic of the game is you can like manipulate time. And then like every memory, how you manipulate time is different. So like in
That's
one world, you may manipulate like the season. So you can like make like snow appear or go away, or you may manipulate like the tide, so like waters may rise and fall. And in one of them, you manipulate the sun. So you start from like in the early morning to night, and you're in a sunflower field, and sunflowers follow the sun. So you move the sun to essentially
Wait, that's
platform across a field of sunflowers, and I was like, "This is fucking kind of epic." Like
That
there
is
is
cool.
it is
You're making
really
it
cool.
sound a lot better than it probably is.
It is, yeah. It is just like it is just like a 6. And I would say that because it's so simple. Like the gameplay
Yeah.
is kind of floaty. It's just no
Yeah.
precision there. So there are moments where I'm like trying to like jump across and you fall, or you're trying to reach a ledge and you fall, and you're falling because like the camera's locked and you're not quite where you're supposed to be, and stuff like that. But for the price you paid for the game, I think you'll be overjoyed because it's actually good. I played Blackjack a lot this past week, which was another one of those cheap games I got on
boy.
Switch. Last week and earlier this week, especially when I was in training, I was in, you'll love this, Jason. I was in business data analyst Power BI training this week, this past week. It was,
That sounds horrible.
Let's
was
make
4
dashboards.
it was 4 days of power analytics, and yeah, like my brain was kind of rot by the end of it. So
That sounds horrible.
picking up the Switch and playing Blackjack was very fitting. It's just like mindless card game. So I did a lot of that. I played a lot of 64, which kind of got the juices going. I started playing Kirby 64. I played a few levels of Star Fox. I've been waiting for my analog, right? And I've been trying to hold off on like this want to play all of my 64 games for it. I have no idea when that console is coming, and this week I was weak and I started my GoldenEye 007 run on my EverDrive. I was like, I'll just go ahead and
Nice.
start playing this. So I've been going through that, unlocking cheats, unlocking levels, unlocking difficulties, doing the thing. So that's been where the most of my time was spent until yesterday, when I played a brand new game, Yarden. A new big, not 19-cent
Wow.
game that just came out. It just released, and it's called After Love EP. and I've only played it for about an hour, so I can't go super in depth with it or anything like that. But so far, so good. Do you guys know about this game at all?
Just what you've shared on social media. That's it.
So I learned about this game. I don't want to say through Sean, but I think because of Sean, I think. And Sean can tell me if I'm wrong here one day. But I think Sean was into that Coffee Talk thing for a while.
Yes, he was.
And I never played Coffee Talk because, to be quite honest, every time I've looked at it, it does not look like a game for me. It's like a visual narrative where you sit down and talk to people at a coffee bar, and you just kind of help them fix their problems. I was like, yeah, it's not really for me. But there's a story there. This game, Afterlove EP, was announced at like an Indie Direct, I think like 4 years ago, 4 or 5. It's been a long time. And the reason it's taken so long for it to finally come out is the creator of the game and Coffee Talk died. He passed away several years ago. And his team have had to pick up and finish this work for him. And that's interesting because this game is about a band who loses a member of their friend group, and then they have to pick up and move forward. So it's there's a lot of parallels there between what's happening in the real world and what's happening in the game.
Wow.
And this game is very different than like Coffee Talk. It is a lot of talking, there's a lot of dialogue options, but there is like rhythm game sections because you're in a band, so you're playing a lot of. It's got like a Scott Pilgrim vibe, not like Scott Pilgrim the game, but like a Scott Pilgrim, comic or anime. It's very much feels something like that, just with maybe a little heavier tones for grief and stuff like that. It is really interesting because the person that passes away kind of lives through the game because the person that's like processing this grief is having this inner monologue with her the whole time. So her voice is still in the game, but it's the person talking to himself, which is very reflective. And like there are moments where you're talking to their bandmates or something, and she says something, and then you respond to her, and your bandmates are like, "What?" And you're like, "Oh, don't worry about it," and stuff like that. So I like it a lot so far. I'm not like, again, it's not a review yet. I haven't finished it.
Sure.
I've only played it for like maybe 90 minutes, but so far I'm actually kind of digging it. Rebecca,
Yeah,
I think you might too.
Way to honor the creator too, and like kind of let their legacy live on a little bit.
That's why I was really interested in the game. It's almost like I was more interested in the story about the game than I was the game itself. Just kind of following it through for a few years. It was supposed to come out last year. And it got delayed, and so now it's here, and I picked it up, and I am digging it. And the art style is very nice. It almost has like I said, it has like a Scott Pilgrim. I don't want to say it's definitely not an aesthetic. It's like Scott Pilgrim kind of persona. Yeah, like it kind of pitch those things to you. You're kind of doing stuff like that. A lot of vibes like that. Yeah, Mohammed Fahmy is the name Yarn brings up.
Interesting too. Like I'm glad they didn't. Like I know I'm not super familiar with Coffee Talk. I mean, I've heard of it obviously, and there's the sequel, but I'm glad like you wouldn't know it's made by the same like creators because like visually and aesthetically, I'm glad it's like it's shifted, right? So it's not it's easy to fall in that same sprite based trap, right? This looks more like hand drawn anime in a way, and then instead of realistic, I'm going to use the term realistic lightly here, characters versus Coffee Talk, which had more of a fantasy setting. You had more like orcs and imps and people with horns and sitting next to cops. Like it was a much more wild cast compared to what this is.
I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't interested in Coffee Talk, but because I was digging this, I did look his game catalog up, and he does have another game called What Comes After, and that game was on sale for $2.50, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it just because I'm liking Afterlove EP so much. I was like, I'll just buy that since it's on sale and maybe try it after.
I might have to look into all this just because, like, again, it's something outside of my normal finish Xenoblade before the next game comes out. In a few months. I've been playing 3 forever. I was playing it up until
for 7 years.
Yeah, I started I started playing it, and then I got COVID, and then I was like, I need a break, and then Splatoon came out, and then I started playing that, and then I just never went. I'm
kind of having that Splatoon itch. I've been thinking about Splatoon for a minute.
Don't trigger Rebecca. We're too young. We're too innocent.
Like I've thought about it. I was like, I should maybe boot that up again.
Yeah.
Did you see? Well, you did see what I sent you. They remade
Yeah, I
Tears
love
of
that.
the Kingdom, all the Splatoon like weapons and enemies and stuff like that. It was
Mhm.
really creative. Just like blows my mind what people do in Tears of the Kingdom.
That is my favorite part of Tears of the Kingdom is all the stuff that they do with that stuff.
I'm always amazed. I'll see something on TikTok. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if Donnie. And I'm like, oh, Donnie's the one that shared this. That's how I'm seeing this. But
I
just,
watch
like,
it a lot. Yeah,
That one
I watch it a lot of it.
Did you share that one recently where they like catch the boss with the
Yes,
like the
in that
scissors almost in the
contraption,
feet,
and
he
it just
flies
keeps
up in the
li-
air. It's what is going on? What is happening?
It's like the part of the game that I don't like because I don't want to invest the time to figure out how to do any of that. But I also like that everybody else does, and I can watch it. You know, it's like I like it as a social media thing, not as an actual game that I want to
Yeah.
play.
I'm happy to put two wheels on something and make it work, you know, versus these people come up with, you know.
I was ended at speeder bike. Like I learned how to make a speeder bike. I was like, this is it. This is all that I need for the entire game. Like I can fly forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, these people are making like wrestling rings and cages, and they electrocute them and they spin, and it automatically kills the death boxes. It's wild.
I don't think I alluded to the video, but I didn't share it. The one where the guy kills a high Nox.
What?
John,
John 32. Splatoon 3 is not on sale at Target for $15.
That's
I
crazy.
saw
One way to find out.
somewhere that Target was having like clearance sales on some Switch.
Yeah,
Oh,
they get
that's
the
right.
one
Yeah,
that's-
everything.
So could
Yeah.
that be what it is?
I imagine all my store's been picked over.
Yeah.
All right, Delvin, regale us.
Well, I talked about it a lot on PSVG because
Talk about it again.
this is how interested Donnie is in this story. Like when I was in New York, I ended up getting me RetroCon HD2. So I have gotten full into the mode of playing Super Nintendo and NES games, and I'm having
That
a
guy's-
blast. Like
He's buying cartridges.
cartridges.
Love that.
One of us. One of us.
We're all doing it.
You know, I think the cool thing about it is, well, I can ask each one of y'all. Y'all can give y'all opinion on it or give y'all thoughts. What generation was it that you really got like clued into gaming? Like that. This is for me.
What do you mean by clued in? Like you're following everything?
This is like you know, for example, me, I played games for the Atari, and it was fine, but I wouldn't say I was like a gamer, or like knew this was gonna be something I do for the rest of my life till I probably got into like maybe the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay, so that's different. Okay. Yeah, for me that's 64.
See,
That's the 64 era, 64 I'll throw PlayStation 1 in there too. That for me those are formative years for me. Right? That's where I find Zelda, that's where I find Resident Evil, that's where I find Mario, that's where I find wrestling games, sports games. And that just sets me off on like a lifelong path from there. Now, when you said clued in gamer, I didn't have magazines. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know what the 64 DD was at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
didn't know that was allowed.
I was just playing the games I had access to and trying to find more ways to get them. I wasn't clued in to all of the news and the industry and everything that was going on until probably back half GameCube, if not Wii. Like
Because-
that's like basically internet. When I got internet access, that's when I became, more of like what we see here.
because when the SNES came out, I was all into it. I was getting Nintendo Power, Game Pro, every
Yeah,
book
I
you could think
missed
about. I
that
was getting.
generation. I didn't have magazines and stuff, so I didn't know the news. Right?
What about you, Jason?
Think about it as you said it, like, obviously the first console I had was the NES, and then I, went to the Genesis. But when I think about like that enjoyment of the hobby or the activity, I think it was probably like the PlayStation era, just because I had the PlayStation and my friends had a 64, so being able to bounce back and forth and play like the games that I had on PlayStation, which was my first experience with Squaresoft and their RPGs at the time, and then playing Mario Kart 64, playing Smash Brothers, playing we played Conker's Bad Fur Day, the multiplayer with that all the time. Just like that's what we did so much. And then Mario Party, right? Like so many good memories of that. And some of the GameCube too, but that was kind of the stuff that really kind of you got that click, right? And I had gaming magazines as a kid. I had Nintendo Power. I did some Game Pro, Ultra Game Players. That was one of my favorites. And then once that kind of PC gaming was also like that whole playing online. That was the big click, especially for me. Like, didn't really have any friends close by. I lived in a more rural area, so I couldn't just like go across the street to play something. We had to drive, 10, 15, 20 minutes to get to a friend's house or something like that. So being able to play online and have that experience was kind of like, okay, this is what I've been missing out on, and kind of forming that community and of stuff. So I think that feels right. But it's funny though, when I think back to the nostalgia or like the essence of what you like about gaming, though, it always goes back to that 16-bit generation too. So it's kind of odd as well. But yeah.
Rebecca?
For when I started feeling like a real gamer.
Yeah, quote unquote a real gamer. Like, this is for me. I'm going to be doing this for the rest
She's
of my
a
life.
girl, so that's never happened.
I only play games to impress boys. No, I don't know if I really had a moment or era like that, because I had the Super Nintendo from a super young age, and I really liked playing it. And then we just kept getting whatever console the next Zelda game had was on after that, and I had some other stuff, like I had a PS2, but like, I don't know. It's just always been like, I don't remember a time where games like haven't been in my life. So like, it's just always been a constant. Like, I don't think I really had a moment like that.
Interesting. See, I asked this question because
she was born into it.
I was
merely adopted.
Molded.
I asked this question because getting into these kind of finding this system, and it brought back that nostalgia for me in terms of like realizing like, oh, this console that I forgot about 30 years ago, there's more stuff you can do with it. Like, just because I stopped playing it didn't mean more games didn't come out for it. Didn't mean that, like,
I guess when you put it that way, so like, I did have kind of that middle school phase of, I still played games, but like I didn't, talk about it with my friends as much, or like, I wasn't really kind of in deep with it as much. So I guess like mid to late high school, I kind of dove back into it. Like, I guess around, so I'm trying to think of it in like terms of Pokemon generations. I got back into Gen 5, and then like Gen 6, like when I got to college and I was able to like spend my own money on games and like kind of follow it a lot closer online in high school. Like, maybe that's like when I had realized like, oh my gosh, there were 2 Zelda games on the DS that like I never even knew about that came out when I was in my weird middle school. I'm not a gamer phase. Yeah. So like maybe that's like the closest to what you're talking about.
Yeah. Now you're talking about what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like Donnie's been talking about it for weeks, the N64, and kind of found his love back for the system and buying these games, and the box arts house was so
Japanese Masters Golf, baby.
Just so different, like kind of getting into that phase. So it made me kind of want to do the same thing with my generation, like Super Nintendo, and coming to the realization like, oh, there's a whole other side of games I just didn't play. Like Japan games that came out that
they make a Masters Golf for your Super Nintendo too.
See,
you can be right there with me.
Yeah, I guess that would be around that time for me too, because like up until that point, like I only had the games that like my parents bought for me. So like that's why I didn't grow up with Mario, because like my dad just never bought it. Like I only, I was only like aware and following like Pokemon and Zelda, and then like whatever else like we saw on the shelf, they, said, okay, we'll buy that for you. So I guess like high school to college kind of time was.
I was aware of 8 and 16-bit. Like my babysitter when I was very little had an NES, and that's where I met Mario and Donkey Kong and Duck Hunt. And then like my friends had Super Nintendos, right? And I ended up playing Mario All-Stars and Link to the Past and stuff, but I never had my own games like in my own room until 64. That's when I was like, now I love this. Like before it was like I'll play it if like it's raining and we can't go outside. But like that's when I was like, no, I don't want to go outside. I want to stay here. So that was like a big difference for me.
Yeah.
But like Rebecca, I didn't like start following news and what's coming and pre-orders and like thinking of like in the future. I didn't start doing any of that until I got internet access, which, as crazy as to say to a lot of people today, I didn't really get internet access until like 2005, maybe. I mean, like we were like full on GameCube, almost Wii gen by the time I got internet.
So. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people didn't have it at that time. So it was kind of just a different era.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have cable, like, right. I was the antenna kid, like go mess with the ears, like, I didn't have any of that. So like I just played, my game news is whatever I could gather at GameStop or CompUSA. Like if I could go to the game store once every couple months, if I scrounged up some money, I would go through the bargain bins or just hear what people would say,
My first online trailer that I remember watching over and over and over again was the Twilight Princess. That first trailer.
I was going to say, are you thinking that Space World demo? That
No.
Space World Zelda demo?
I was not aware of that until much later.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I was really only aware of mainstream type of Zelda trailers and Pokemon
Yeah,
at the time.
And Pokemon.
it's kind of crazy because when
Those
I
were
think
my
back to
two
era,
growing up.
when I think back to my era, most of that stuff was essentially just marketing. Even like Game Pro and Nintendo Power.
It's like everybody's Nintendo, but like your Nintendo Power, a lot of people are Nintendo Power, PlayStation Magazine, was it EGM, right? A lot of people were into that. All of that for me was Game Informer.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get access to any of that until we got the Game Informer magazine, because it was like $10 and you got 12 magazines mailed to you. Like that's when I started to get into that sort of stuff. I have no idea when Game Informer started, like what that time is, but it, to me, in my head, I'm thinking GameCube. I think because I remember flipping through it, talking about like Battalion Wars and stuff like that, Day of Reckoning. Like it's very GameCube for me.
Yeah.
I
That's when it was very popular.
I'll let this pass, but for future reference, Delvin, we have the questions. Look at y'all.
No, this was a good
our
discussion.
whole plan to turn this to a retro video game podcast.
I liked this conversation. I thought this was very good.
Retro Shack.
Yeah. Well, so I can show you guys,
It's all we have now. We don't have anything else.
what I did this week. Like I was talking about on PSVG, I ordered some Super Famicom games, and there's this comic book shop that's not too far from me that sells like retro video games. So I went there, and I'll show you guys some of the stuff I got.
Can't wait to see them.
For those who didn't watch PSVG, I'll show you the ones I got before then, and I'll show you the new ones. So I got this. That's Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels, Mario All Stars.
Ooh,
Super Famicom.
in Japan. Yeah.
Yes.
Imports from Japan.
Dragon Quest,
Nice.
Nice.
Killer.
which is cool. This old American ass Captain America Avengers game.
That's a great game.
The odd one out of the whole equation.
That's the arcade port, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that great. Not as great as I remember it being.
No.
Yu Yu Hakusho, which is a Japanese anime that had a fighting game, which I like a lot so far. Now, let me show you the ones I got at the game store this week. Dragon Ball
Nice.
for Famicom.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I couldn't see the cartridge.
The lights on it.
Yeah.
The cartridges look dope, by the way. Why the fuck we didn't get these cartridges? They're like
We
super
got
cool.
these square things instead.
Yeah.
And they-
The Western audience won't understand if we
They won't get it.
Yeah. They just won't
I
know what
don't
it
know
is.
what the fuck this is.
Among Us.
I have no clue what this is.
Is that purple too?
Yeah, it's like
That's
Pink
a
cool.
and
ninja riding a frog. And the frog is shooting his tongue at a lady. I don't know what this is.
Dragon
And that's
Ball.
one of those games that you'll boot it up and you can't understand any of the menus, so you just press whatever and then you're just lost.
The guy was like, "This is Yokai Watch." I'm like, "No, it isn't." Like, look, it's absolutely not Yokai Watch.
I don't believe you.
Yes, I do not believe you. And I got this other one because a lot of these covers are just cool as shit. I don't know what this one is either, but this looks cool.
Yeah, now you got to get get on Etsy, get yourself a little tray so you can put them on your shelves and stuff.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Maybe 3D print those.
I'm gonna.
Do you guys know what the Retron is, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the new hardware, but it plays it's a 64.
Yeah, but he's got multiple cartridge slots. So you can take
Yeah,
different
but
kinds
I
of
have- okay.
games,
What I
which
have
is something
played-
that I think is
yeah. Okay.
super fun and something that's definitely
dedicated. Yeah.
We used to have those. The
Yes.
80s and 90s, you get these mix match of
Yeah.
consoles. Or like, we'll just take your console and our console, we'll smash them together, and you get these weird consoles, like 3 ports on top, all these buttons. You're like, what the fuck is this Frankenstein thing? We haven't gotten anything like that in forever.
Yeah.
And Xbox has the chance to do the funniest thing ever and do the Xbox PlayStation. Like,
Yes.
I need 2 drives.
Yes. They're like, well, we don't need 2 drives. We do now.
We do
Yeah,
now. Like,
I always
2
thought
different.
my son would want to do this, and I'd want to get something like this to hook up to a modern television, right? But then, like, I just remember one time I think I was going to show him Link to the Past, and he's like, "No, I want the real Zelda." I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
That just hurt my heart.
He's like,
Jason just
friends-
clubbed him.
He's got friends at school that talk about Breath of the Wild or this or that, and he's like, "No, this isn't. What is this? What is this
What is
trash?"
this?
For those who are curious, the Retron 2 cost like $50.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
My kids had that same take. I've told that story a bunch, but when we got that GameCube deal years ago, I was like, guys, you can play. And they were like, what is this nonsense? Get this out of our house.
Right, but he'll watch somebody on YouTube play it.
Wow,
No,
that is
but-
interesting.
You know, he would watch. He'd watch that, but he wouldn't.
Yeah, my kids have
Skillish bent. It's too hard for him, and he doesn't want to admit
That's
it.
right.
My kids
That's
have
right.
zero love for like legacy. They don't want to go back in time at all.
I am never gonna have a child, but if I did, I would purposefully never show them modern versions of games and have them start on the Super Nintendo like I did and make them think that's the only kind of games, and then slowly work the way up. Wow, look, they made it in 3D now, and show them the N64.
Are
Yeah,
you going to
see
show
what
them
their
TV?
reaction is.
I feel like that would be a problem.
Yeah, like they're going to
Well,
figure it out.
Well,
Like, why does
maybe
this
they
game
just
look
haven't
so much
made
better than
advanced
YouTube
video games
It's like
yet.
it's like
no,
the
no, I'm not-
plot of The Village all over again.
My kid is not watching YouTube. Are you kidding me?
How are you going to stop it?
Like,
You realize they're not with you the whole time,
We
right?
said that too, Rebecca. We said that too.
we did. We 100% did.
That's why I'm not having kids.
You mean there's more than 16 bits?
No way.
Yeah, right.
But listen, Nintendo's
Oh my god.
Nintendo's partnered up with Silicon Graphics. They're ushering in a new age. It's 2028.
This kid's still watching Archie Bunker and the Jeffersons.
1965's
said
Family
my-
Feud.
Smoke and Joe said my son's first console was the SNES Mini. I have a lot
great.
of respect for that,
good.
Joe. A lot of respect for that.
It's a great console.
I
Yeah,
want to say my
Like-
son's first console was my PS2.
that's great.
Yeah, he got
It's a
like all
great
my
place to
hand-me-downs.
start.
Jax was a 64.
Yeah, they're great places to start.
I'll
You know,
never
makes them
forget.
appreciate.
Jack was like, God, what was he, like 2 or 3? He was super young, like barely, like just talking, maybe 4. And he got sick, and I had to stay home with him. He was sick for like a week, and you ever get a sick kid, especially at that age, you just feel terrible. They feel terrible. They look terrible. You know, they're so sad. And I went out to farmer's market, and I found a 64
At a
in the
farmer's
box and
market?
everything. No, sorry, a flea market. A flea
Oh,
market.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I was
wow,
gonna-
We
I was
had.
gonna say.
I'm sorry.
Farmer's market.
At our old
They have them
house,
there
we
too, by the
had
way.
a flea market at the farmer's market near the house.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. And I bought it and I wrapped it and everything and I brought it to him and I let him open it
Aw.
in his room, obviously, and we hooked it up to his little TV. Just this TV. That.
Does
I
he
have a little
remember
Wii
that?
station.
You should ask
He
him if
does.
he remembers. Yeah,
He
yeah.
does, yeah. He had Donkey Kong 64, which is hilarious because he loves that game. Like as he got older, he was like, "Wait a minute, people don't like this." Like, because it was like his first game. He played it a bunch.
Nostalgia.
I remember playing at a
Yeah.
cousin's house a bunch. Oh, we got to put the expansion pack in. Yeah.
Yeah. It came with it. That was the deal. We got it was green, the green bundle with the game and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's cool.
Well, fun
talking
times,
about
Delvin.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. I can't wait till the rest of my games come in. I got a bunch of games coming. I bought like 10
See?
games.
It's gone
Delvin's
full
a
Donnie.
Renaissance man now.
Full blown. He was like all of it.
I might not never go back. Like, fuck
That's it.
Fuck these console generations changing.
Mhm.
Your
Leave me
PSN,
here.
his PSN went offline and he was like, fuck it. I need all of the Super Nintendo.
For all of 24 hours.
Y'all are charging $70. I can get like 70 games for $70. Fuck this. I'll go back to
Right.
cartridges.
I love the cartridge.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to move on?
Yes.
Nah.
All right, Switch 2 roundup. We've got some new Switch 2 news.
The Switch
new-
2 is actually a Super Nintendo.
I mean, new patent suggests that Joy-Cons can be attached to the Switch in either way, either orientation. So you could flip-flop them. You could do them spin around. People are like, well, what does that mean? Well, they've also had new patent that suggests that the Switch screen itself can be flipped. Right, so you could have different orientations. So we were talking about before, like you couldn't have the a top screen attachment because the vents are on top. Well, what if you flipped it over and like there's a USB on the other side?
Oh, you
and now
mean like
now you
upside
could.
down? Like
Yeah, upside down. You could you could
Okay.
take your Switch, spin it, and then put the Joy-Cons
Okay, that
on
makes
the other side. So if you want the headphone jack on, and to be on top, you can do
Wait.
that. If you want the headphone jack to be on the
Literally
bottom.
the most obvious thing. How did we not think of that already?
Yeah, that's mobile phones have been doing it forever.
When-
like you can
When
flip
we
the
were
orientation
talking about when we were talking about why there's a port at the top, why did we not think of that?
because we're dumb.
It seems so obvious. Like this is such an obvious thing.
Correct. So yeah, with the rail system, right, you could only go the one direction. And if you ever tried to do it the opposite way, which a kid at one of Jack's birthdays party did, you know that it ends up in disaster. You're gonna have a bad time.
Wait. So what would be the benefit of this? What does this open up the possibility of?
It's a great question. Like to me, it's you can orient your headphone jack and the game cartridge and stuff wherever you want it to be. But I'm sure Nintendo has some plan for this. They keep focusing on tabletop. Is there any sort of tabletop element to this where you can like spin the screen or like rotate it or something if it's laying down or if it's on a table? Is there anything there?
I don't.
You had to turn your 3DS upside down to evolve a Pokemon.
Maybe they're gonna do weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Motion. I have no idea. People are already back on their dual screen thing. Everybody wants a dual screen attachment for this damn thing bad. Like it's just everywhere. Like it's all over the Switch Reddit. Like they just want to be able to attach. They just want a Switch DS is what the world wants. Like the world will not heal until Nintendo delivers a Switch DS. But yeah, it's interesting. It's quirky. We'll see where it goes.
I think the kids who grew up with the DS as their first like console, like you know how big the DS was.
Sure.
They
yeah,
are
massive.
the new young adults. Like they're the
Yeah,
ones who are now
yeah, they're
like
coming into the
you know,
workforce,
18
yeah.
to 25.
Yeah, that's a
So
good point.
that makes a lot of sense.
They're super nostalgic. Like I'm surprised every day I wake up and I click on my Reddit and I have a feed for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, and every day for a month I've seen Switch DS mock-up. Like it's every day there's somebody else with a new thing. So
Yeah, this is nostalgic for them right now.
the Switch 2 is allegedly available for sale in the black market in China for $40,000.
Not a bad price.
American. The user said that's trying to sell it is that Pro controllers are running off the line next week. So maybe we'll see leaks of Pro controllers soon. I wonder if they'll break in half.
Now, let's say that you have, money is not
The
an option
means to
for
buy.
you.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's just say that, $40K is like a $20 bill for you. And so
Certainly.
you buy it. Is there any possible, like, what are the repercussion possibilities for you? Like, for
Well-
Nintendo or elsewhere?
I would imagine now, considering that we don't have a launch date or anything, that these things have yet to even receive a patch or an OS update. So at this point, you probably can't even turn it on.
Correct.
It's probably just a black screen. So that being said, Nintendo couldn't like find you because there's no networking to it at all. I believe that the intent here would be to sell it to accessory makers so they can have a legit model and they can start building and manufacturing things to be ahead of launch, because there will be a rat race that those that are there early are
Mhm.
going to sell a
I
lot of
think they will.
stuff.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
People want to have their accessories the first
Yep.
day.
Look at us.
Yep.
We already pre-ordered stuff.
I
Mhm.
already have a grip.
Yep. Exactly.
So
Got a
exactly.
grip,
Why
got a
in the
case.
world would I buy a Nintendo Switch 2 for somebody for $40,000? Why the fuck should I believe them? fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? No,
I mean,
right? That is a big risk.
like, don't
the
do that.
person that shared this information is the same person that had those 3D renders of the Switch like a year ago. Remember, I brought those up in the show and was tweeting all about them and stuff. It's the same person, so they definitely have a contact to somebody that's manufacturing these things.
Well, I believe that's accurate. I believe that's true,
Yeah.
but no, don't buy stuff from people off the streets.
Like I said, they're probably trying to find a company. I think this is more
Yeah.
of a corporate thing than a
Yeah.
gamer. Like, I don't think there's any.
How do
any
you
risk.
verify
Now,
the legitimacy of something like that?
here's the other thing.
I don't think you can clout chase that well.
That was what I was wondering. Is there a YouTuber, like some super famous, popular YouTuber that would maybe throw 40 grand at this just to have that
Yes.
video first?
Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast,
You know.
all of them would do that.
Just like is that a thing? Like, is 40 grand too much for them?
no.
No.
No,
So that might be something we may see a YouTube video one day of. I have the Switch 2 in my hand.
probably be cost neutral if nothing else by the time they
Yeah.
monetize it. And
But as I said, but we already have the 3D render model. Like, we already have that video. Like, that video
Yeah.
already exists. You could say that this isn't that, but it is though. But it kind of is. It's the same thing.
yeah, I mean, especially if you something that early, it's not like it's going to have the hardware. It's not. You can't do anything with it, right? Like,
Right,
There's not
you
going
can't
to
do
be
anything with it. You
the,
can't
the
turn it on.
OS,
What's the
the
point?
UI. None of that's probably.
And then
the
you'll
final
never be
version
able
or
to.
anything.
It's essentially a brick.
You'd have to
Right.
wait to get a hold of one and then find a way to get the stuff off of it. But you're right. Yeah, it is a brick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's not work.
the Spanish website Vandal, which has been reporting a lot of leaks or rumors about the Switch 2 and whatnot, they are suggesting that Bungie's upcoming team-based MOBA, which is known as Project Gummy Bears, will be a day one launch title or not Switch 2 launch, but will be on Switch 2 on day one whenever it does launch. So,
Gummy bear,
Yawn.
bouncing here and there and everywhere.
PlayStation had a direct this week where they showed off a bunch of games, over 30 games that are coming out, and there's several Switch games in that presentation. So the Shinobi Art of Vengeance is coming to Switch in August. That is the new Shinobi game, kind of like Streets of Rage, kind of a Okami type style. Looks really good. Digimon Time Stranger was announced. The apocalypse of Digimon continues. Warriors Abyss is a roguelite Dynasty Warriors game that's out now. It's $25. Josh from Board with Video Games
Yeah.
is playing it, and he
Yeah,
loves it.
Yeah, he really likes it.
Yeah, it's like a Hades right?
Yeah,
This is what he was-
it's like kind of like a Hades / Dynasty Warriors kind of
Yeah.
similar to
I
Hades,
looked
how you
into it.
mentioned. There's like you got multiple levels and bosses to get through, and
You level up
roguelite.
characters.
Yeah.
I looked into it. I do like a Dynasty Warriors. I'm almost scared that the roguelite aspect of Dynasty Warriors might work. But $25, I don't know. Like I need to wait for a sale. I need a demo or something. Like it's a little too much for me to jump in early. So I'm waiting. I'll keep an eye on it. Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny Remaster launches in May for Nintendo Switch. So I just want to point out you putting Darwin's Paradox on the thing,
That was the only good game from the presentation.
and I literally omitted it because I could not care.
Well, keep talking about your games. I'll talk about this when you're done.
Okay,
You'll be
all
happy to
right.
know I didn't watch this shit either.
nope.
Delvin's just quiet quitting. He's just,
Like I just told them, tell me what happened. It's messed me everything. Like, all right, we're good.
we don't have a direct yet. There's still rumors out there that something might be coming, but the point that I wanted to make before I get into the next game I want to talk about is, we talked about this before. MVG said, that his little retro business and everything he's doing with Limited Run, that they still have a lot of Switch stuff in the pipeline. And as you can tell, we are still getting games for Switch. Like, even though the Switch 2 has been announced, it's April and everything, people are still like, I wonder how long the Switch tail will run, at least from third party. It could be several years, like, especially if Switch 2 is just backwards compatible. I do think Nintendo will eventually move to really trying to focus on the new platform. Sure. But why would anybody else? Like, if you're an indie game, why? You would just, if Nintendo's not going to cut you a check, you might as well just sell to as many people as possible.
Right.
So It's interesting. My game of show, before Rebecca gets into Octopus Game, was new Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which had me fucking hyped. I was legit over the moon about this because it's a return to form. This is Sonic Racing, like Sonic Racing All-Stars, where you're going to get the hover boat and you're going to get the jet plane and you're going to get the off-road truck and you're going to be able to do all of that Diddy Kong Racing style, which is what I've been wanting from Sonic Racing for a decade. And I was really happy to see this game. It has its own gimmick where if you are leading the race on lap 2, you will eventually be presented an option of 2 like rifts. Think of like Doctor Strange, like he spins the circle and you see 2 other worlds and you drive into that world and everybody else is teleported to a completely different track, which I think is pretty awesome. Like that is a wild concept that I've never seen in a kart racer before. When I saw it, I was like, that's got to be a Switch 2 game because quite frankly, I question whether or not it can even run on Switch.
Sure.
That's interesting because when this game was announced at Summer Games Fest, it was announced for Switch. Peculiar, on their website, Switch is not mentioned. It's not listed as a platform. So either they're waiting to be in a direct where they can announce it for Nintendo, which could be this week, or perhaps this is a Switch 2 game. We don't have a date for it. It just says coming soon. Perhaps this is a Switch 2 title. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough.
That makes sense.
And maybe they can make it. I mean, Switch has memory issues and something like that. We talked about that with Ratchet and Clank, right? And how they needed the SSD and everything to do that. I don't know how well Switch would adapt to something like that, but we'll find out. Rebecca, tell us about Darwin.
This was the one game that really caught my attention besides Lost Records, which I'm also very excited about, but I don't think that's coming to the Switch. But this one is.
Did you see, I don't want to interrupt you, but did
No.
you see the Lost Records thing? It's coming out next month, and then the second episode will come out until April?
Like seasons, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait.
Yeah, they're
I'm gonna
kind of
wait until
going
I
back
can
to
play
that, which they've been avoiding doing that for like their past lots of games. But I guess there's a reason why they want to do it. Maybe it's not ready yet. Maybe it's I don't know. I know I'm not a big fan of that either, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Darwin's Paradox is coming to the Switch. It is a platformer, which I know I'm not super into platformers, but it is a game about octopodes, and they're very, very smart. I love octopodes. You play as an octopus named, I guess, Darwin, and you use his suckers to like climb and his camouflage, and you have to like try not to like, you're trying to navigate back home. There's like some stealth, there's some, platforming. Ink shots, I think they had in the trailer, and it looks amazing, and it's coming out later this year, and I am super duper excited. Konami is making it, and I will be buying it and playing it. I got very excited when I saw the trailer.
I don't know what any of
Awesome.
those words mean.
Still has not played Mario Wonder.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just don't. I won't
Is
play
Mario
that at
an
all.
octopus?
Yeah, that's what it's going to take you to get you in. Like, do we have to have cat suit, octo suit, Mario? Is that what it's going to take?
What is it?
You will get the elephant suit and you will like it.
I'm very excited about Darwin's Paradox.
Awesome.
Hi, Sean.
Headline: Star Fox artist Takaya Imamura says he wants Star Fox Assault and Steel Diver Sub Wars on Switch 2.
Make it up.
Okay.
Crowd
Tell
goes
us
wild.
It's not our job.
Yeah, he wants it, but he's an
Go make it
artist.
happen.
He's not.
He left. He doesn't work for Nintendo
Yeah.
anymore. He
Yeah.
left.
Non-news.
He's got that
Net-
new manga game to make now, or his
Correct.
adventure game thing he's
Yes,
doing.
NetEase is in talks with Nintendo regarding Marvel Rivals for Switch 2. Capcom, likewise, has talked about Monster Hunter Wilds for Switch 2 might be something coming in the future. So you're starting to see companies begin to dance around like, we've got some games we're thinking
might.
it might fit over there. Like,
Maybe
you never know.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're talking. We're talking. We're talking.
Yeah, what happened?
Glover N64 remasters coming to Nintendo Switch on the 27th
What are you talking
digitally.
about? Oh.
It's coming digitally for $20. Rebecca has a copy. A lot of people are trying to get that copy. A lot of people are trying to get that game. So very good. Good job, Rebecca.
you
It's
go.
Josh's.
Danny Glover.
Good job, Josh. That makes more sense. I was
Good
like,
job,
why?
Josh.
like, why does
Danny
she have a
Glover had a
copy
name.
of Glover?
Here we go.
That's exactly what she pulled it out. I was like, why does Rebecca have Glover? It's Josh's. Like, okay, now, right, that makes sense. Delvin, you can now buy Nintendo's Alarmo from the Nintendo Switch online store.
I'm
Woo!
not doing it.
Hey, it's sold out the moment they announced it, but I think it's come back in stock. now. Now you
Sold
can buy it.
out. Sold out.
They made like 3. Oh, it's gone.
I have a question. What non-Nintendo fan wants an alarm clock that plays Nintendo music at them?
What?
Yeah.
Non-Nintendo
Why would a
What
non-Nintendo
Nintendo
fan
fan?
want it at all?
Yeah, you have to have.
That's
some
what I
nostalgia
mean.
for it.
That's who they're opening it up to now.
Well, they're open. I mean, it's still Nintendo Switch Online. I think before it was you could only buy it in the Nintendo New York store. You couldn't buy it online.
No, you
Right.
don't need the online now to get it.
Right, but you still have to buy it from the Nintendo store. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Nintendo Direct or whatever.
Yeah, next month it'll be in Target. Don't worry.
Ultros got a stealth drop this week on Switch. That's like a neon acid drip Metroidvania. It was like on PC and PlayStation last year. It's finally dropped on Switch. And then I threw this in here because I came across this week. And this was just the headline. Critically acclaimed survival horror game Sorry We're Close comes to Switch on March 6th. Has a Metacritic of 83. I bring it up because when I saw the trailer in my YouTube recommendation, I was like, holy shit, did Suda make this? It looks like a Grasshopper game. Like, it looks like a No More Heroes game. And then I went and started digging into it. And I went to the Steam page, I went to the discussions, and just because I was interested, I typed No More Heroes, only to find a developer ask me anything where he was like, yep, absolutely, love No More Heroes, Suda, like, that's why we did this style. So,
it's like inspired by.
It is
does.
very much. So that was really cool. I was like, well, I definitely got to buy it now. And
Oh,
then
that
was
looks cool.
happy to see that not only does it have that look, it's actually really good, though. So I was like, that's awesome. I got to bring it up on the show. So I'll be playing that in
Nice.
March for sure.
Nice.
Good.
And that's it for the news, Rebecca.
Very exciting.
Wow.
You sound jazzed.
Y'all got any more of those 9-cent Switch games to talk about?
Yeah, right. All right.
Bet y'all
Chat
appreciate that Super
questions.
Nintendo conversation now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. Questions directly from you, starting with Tony. Have y'all seen the new overview trailer that dropped yesterday for Fantasy Life, The Girl That Stole Time? I have not seen the overview trailer. He wants to know our thoughts on it. He says there's been a few delays with the game, but it looks very feature-rich. I think the move to multi-platform with cross-play progression and save was a good thing. What are your thoughts? I have not seen the new trailer, but I am like a little bit interested in this game. I've never really played a Fantasy Life game before, but I did hear that this is going to be digital only. Is that unusual for Fantasy Life?
I think I saw some of the news on that today too. I think digital only in the West. It sounds like there's going to be a physical release
In Japan?
elsewhere. Yeah.
Limited
I mean, I
run.
think I
We're
saw
going to
something
get
like
you next year, and that game will come out in 2030. You can look forward to your cartridge arriving in the mail 4 years later.
Yep.
I
haven't
still
watched
don't
it.
have Clock Tower, by the way.
Wow.
You still
Still.
didn't get it?
Nope.
I got mine a while ago.
No. I ordered the special edition, and the special editions take longer because they build them and ship them over and everything. So, but I'm still waiting. It still hasn't come out.
Yeah, I don't
how
know much
limited run is.
about this game. I mean, I haven't watched the trailer.
Released
but
on all platforms, simultaneous worldwide release, cross-play support, cross-save support.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
The game, if I
I'm
just
just
wanted a
kinda
copy of the game,
Scrubbing through.
that's available. But I ordered
Yeah.
the limited edition with the extra stuff, the toys, and that stuff. Like my Scott Pilgrim took like
A
it was
vast
like 2
open
years
world.
to arrive.
I remember this
Craft
game.
items, create your own island. Deep dungeons.
There's dungeons, there's cooking, there's islanding.
Wait, this
Islanding.
maybe I should get this.
Probably, maybe. Or not. Your choice.
Freely draw rivers, great
14
ponds, and paved
lives.
roads.
It looks okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it's for me, but
I don't know.
looks okay.
We'll see how it does. Cross save. I like cross save, cross platform.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's get the crossplay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take a look at probably reviews and price. All right. Jared wants to know.
Rename this
Speaking of
episode.
how do you decide to buy a game physically or digitally? Very good question. I'll let y'all start.
If it's something I'm really into, I usually buy the physical version of it because I'm scared they're gonna take it away from me and I'll never see it again.
Yeah.
Like they did with Transformers for a long time. But if it's something I just want to try, I'll buy it digitally. I don't give a fuck. Like, all right, here we go. If I lose it one day, I probably won't even miss it.
To me, it's price and availability.
That too.
Yep.
Games that I'm like day one on, first party stuff, I typically try to buy them physically if I can. A lot of indies I buy digitally, usually because they come out early. Right? You get them digitally, and physicals don't come for like a year or so later. But I'm terrible for this question because I can't tell you how many games I've double dipped on. Like I've bought both for no reason. Like I've bought both because it was on sale. I bought both because I like the physical copy or I like the cover. You know, like I own not just both. Like I own digital, physical copies of the same game on Switch. Also have it on PC. May have it on, like, who knows? I like buying games. It's fun
I've done
to buy
that too.
games. So, yeah, I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason.
Yeah, I don't have one anymore. I mean, it used to be when you could get a discount on physical pre-orders, right? You know, either through Amazon or through whatever.
Gamers
but
Club, man.
yeah, so now though, it's like I think I have.
Now it's the opposite. Now you pay them more
Yeah,
for the physical copy.
whatever's behind me there on the shelf, those are all my physical games, and most of those were like year one releases. And then now I would try to justify like, oh, I don't, if it's a game I'm going to play a lot and I want to be able to switch back to, like, or multiplayer like Splatoon, Smash,
Sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to have it digital because I want that ease of access. But now I would say I'm like 95% digital. I mean, the only reason I bought Super Mario RPG physical is because it was on sale physical. Otherwise, you know, but I don't care. I don't want to think about it. I want to be able to just buy it and have it download to my console and be ready there on release.
I used to get everything physical because I liked having on the shelf. And now I think when I go into the Switch 2, my policy is going to be I'm going to get probably most games digitally except for like Zelda games and like maybe some select other favorites.
So the shelf is full.
Because it's the shelf is full. And also I just like the convenience of digital.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I've repurchased games just so I don't have to carry carts with me. That's real. I have Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom. Despite buying both physically, I have bought them digitally, just so I have to carry them around.
Yeah. So I know I feel the same way. Like I feel like I'm maybe more likely to play a game if I can just boot it up.
Yep.
So that's going to be my policy going into the Switch 2. Plus, you get them early if you do it through the Japanese eShop, which is exciting. Okay, there's only one correct answer for this next question, and I expect you all to agree with me.
Oh boy.
Drew asks, what is your favorite Nintendo logo for a console or franchise? Well, I was thinking for console.
The Wii U.
What?
Let's go,
Stop.
baby.
Woo! I think there's multiple answers.
Virtual
to this
Boy,
question.
baby.
There's only one answer for console. Maybe franchise has multiple answers.
Is the answer that you're seeking GameCube?
No.
Okay. Because I think GameCube logo is pretty sick.
Best
It
intro.
is.
Right. Yeah.
They're not asking best intro, Jason. They're asking best logo.
Wow.
The logo is
Wow.
great. It's a great logo.
John 32 got it right. The N64. It's the N in like the box. It's like 3D
Correct.
and it spins around. That is the only answer.
It's not that is my answer. So just to be
Thank
clear,
you.
but it's not
Yeah.
I don't think it's the only answer.
No, that's the only answer.
But I agree with you. It is.
If you
an
look up
excellent-
all the Nintendo logos, that is the best one.
there are like 64 sides on that thing too. Like that's the
Yeah, I
whole
mean,
point.
Yeah. Plus everything
It's
else
pretty
is mostly
killer.
just text.
All
That's like that and GameCube are the
Nintendo
only ones that are actually
console.
like.
I'm looking up all the
Logos.
logos
Logo.
right now.
Don't you have like the Super Nintendo, like the bubbles or whatever, like the little or is that just
no,
like
well, it's like
PAL
the
and stuff?
slightly tilted font, and then Super Nintendo. on the
I was
right.
thinking of
The Game Boy Color is pretty good. I like the Game Boy Color one.
what about the new Nintendo 3DS?
Now we're
No,
talking.
horrible.
Yep, that's my answer. New Nintendo. Yep, there we go.
The N64, the N is the best
Kind of
one.
like the GameCube one.
What?
The GameCube one's pretty sick.
Yeah, I do like
Cool.
the GameCube.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not better than the N64 one.
I agree, but I think they're both pretty great.
I don't know.
What's your
What's the
favorite?
worst one?
Ooh,
The DS. The DS one's not bad.
Mm.
The Wii one is so boring. It's literally just the word Wii in gray.
Yeah,
It's so
that was
boring.
yeah.
trash.
Hang on. Whoa,
I don't
whoa.
like that one. I'm
Why
looking
the
at that
fuck
right now,
is
that
the
was trash.
Wii catching strays? God damn!
The
Because
logo.
it's
Hang
not
on
a
a second.
logo. It's not a logo.
It
It's
is
just
a
the
logo.
name.
That's
not
what
a good
every one of them are.
Yeah,
The Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
but they have style. They all have style
so does
to them.
The Wii doesn't have style.
It's just the word Wii in
Oh
gray.
my god! Oh
I
my
think
god.
we have to. I think it has to go to the Wii U
Hang on.
because it's just the Wii with the weird, stupid.
Yeah,
No,
that
no,
one's
no,
pretty
no.
bad
Jason's
too. It's the
correct.
same
We're
thing.
not going to
Jason's
change
correct.
directions like she didn't just say everything she just said. Hang on a second. All right. There's a couple things here.
Wait one goddamn minute, Rondell.
Well, yeah, wait a goddamn minute, Rondell. The Wii's branding was impeccable. The whole brand for the whole thing is great. Here's the other thing.
did?
You're like, it's just the name, the Wii. Nobody knew what the fuck Wii was until the Wii came along. Like, it invented a whole word. Like, that's pretty amazing.
To be clear,
What?
I think the marketing behind it was brilliant.
Yeah,
'Cause it
what?
We're not
works. It
talking.
worked
We're not
really good.
talking about the marketing. We're talking
But
about
the-
the logo.
The logo itself, not so great, but the marketing and the name was
Okay,
brilliant.
that's you can make that argument. I wasn't saying that's not true. I'm talking about the logo. There's no like anything interesting to it,
You
like
know
the
what?
other ones.
I'm changing my answer to Game and Watch. It's the best logo.
Oh boy.
All right. What about logo from a franchise?
I didn't think about that.
That's a better one. Ooh, that's
All
hard.
Nintendo game logos.
Oh
Yeah, let me
jeez.
look that up. I mean, Smash Bros. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Donkey Kong.
That's a good one.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey
The
Kong is
arc-
a good one.
The arcade script with the stars and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Pokemon's is iconic, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. It has its own. I mean, they all have their own font, but like Pokemon has established a font.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's kind of a big deal. They've created their own font.
Luigi's Mansion, I really like that one, to be honest with you, because it's like all of the letters are the ghosts. They all have like little eyes, like they're ghosts.
I forgot about that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's good.
Pikmin, because all the letters are like little flower blooms.
Yeah,
I'm looking at some of them right now.
it's you're not like as a logo itself. You're right. I think the logo, like I always have like a sour taste in my mouth through the way like Pikmin was like introduced. Like it's gonna be Pokemon. It's like okay.
Oh no, but we're not talking. That's not the conversation.
I
The
can't. I
conversation is
can't.
the logo.
I can't detach. I need to look these up. Hang on.
Yeah, if you're looking at them, you can get a much better
Nintendo
like.
franchise logos.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
open a picture
I would
or-
say Luigi's Mansion is my
Yeah, I'm looking at
favorite.
the pictures. They have pictures like on Reddit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like Animal Crossings
There's,
too.
there's literally a Reddit thread about this. Which Nintendo games think have the prettiest and coolest logos and the ugliest and most boring ones? That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
One of the comments
I-
is the Game & Watch logo is so stylish. See, I was right.
I also
the
kind of
first
like
comment.
Splatoon's logo, because the letters kind of look like tentacles, and the two O's are like the eyes of the
Ooh,
squid.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one's creative.
That's a good one.
The Mother Earthbound logo has like the mother has the like the Earth as the O. That's a good one.
Need to get
I'm
that.
scared to say
Thanks for
Wii
reminding
Sports
me.
Resort. Rebecca goes, it's just the word. It's just letters.
Oh no, that was good. I like that one.
Nice. I did it. I mean, I love, I still think Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong's good.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Kirby.
Should I pick one that I hate?
Yes. go for it.
Endless Ocean. Endless Ocean has a very bad logo. It looks like an aquarium.
And I could just that whole
Steel
Which I guess
Diver.
makes it a good logo.
franchise. Steel Diver.
It's terrible.
So we're just throwing out shots at like shit games.
Goddamn right.
No. It doesn't mean
I'm
it's a bad game. It doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's a bad logo. Steel Diver, you're absolutely correct. That is a bad logo.
What about the Wii Sports logo? This looks like a lot.
Damn it.
It is a little. It is a lot.
There's a lot going on with that logo.
I got it. Let me see.
The game
Can
is
I
great.
say something controversial?
Okay.
For as fun and great as a game franchise Metroid is, the logo's pretty bad.
They're about to come. They're about to come for you. They are going to come for you.
I think it could be better for what it is.
Yeah, I think well, hang on. We're talking like original Metroid, like just the letters,
It just says Metroid.
not like
Yeah.
Metroid Prime with like the ball and the lightning and all that, because that one's kinda
No.
cool.
Just the regular Metroid logo.
Okay, I got you. What is it? Why is the Wii and the Wii Sports under duress? Like, what is happening here?
Oh, just all the little symbols for the sports underneath. I think
Yeah.
Delvin
It's a
says
little
it's a
bit
lot.
much.
I think it's cute.
I don't like it.
I don't think it's bad.
I don't like it. Mm-mm. It gets the point across what it is.
I don't
so
like
guess
you,
it works for
Dylan.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Fossil Fighters. That's actually
fuck is
a really
that?
cool
The
logo.
hell
Are
is
we
that?
I don't
counting that?
know.
Are we counting
It
that?
is Nintendo,
Oh,
and it has
that
a
is
cool
a-
logo.
That's a cool logo, yeah.
Ooh,
The fuck?
I like
What is
Dr.
Freaky
Mario.
Farms?
The Dr. Mario with like the
Dr. Mario's a
prescription
good
script
one.
and stuff. That's good.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
They caught wind to your Metroid logo.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying
Wait,
for
here
as
comes- here comes the
great as a
backpedaling.
game as it is.
Fuck that.
Not
Stand
Metroid
on
Prime.
business.
Not Metroid Prime.
Yes, it's
Not Metroid
bad,
Prime.
Tom.
Well,
Get the
Here
fuck out of
comes.
here.
game where you
She
can't.
said,
crawl.
whoa, wait a
Where it's
minute.
just Metroid slanted backwards. It
said,
could
wait
be
a second.
better for what the game is. I love Metroid. I'm not shitting on Metroid. I'm talking about the logo.
Ooh, I don't like Pokemon Shield and Swords logos.
Oh, that's a good one.
They're kind of bad.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
I don't like those at all.
Yeah.
Delvin,
feel that.
I bought Detective Pikachu.
No, I said the logo's bad, not the game.
The logo.
She said it was bad.
He said the game bad too.
I love Metroid.
Look at chat.
Moving on.
Chat is going off. I told you they were going to come for you. You
Yes.
cannot say ill things
Stand
against
on
that
business.
franchise.
Fuck it. Yes, it's bad. Everything about it is bad. Just lean into it.
Anyway.
Ah.
Robbie wants to know, is there one game you want to finish before the Switch 2?
That's interesting, Jason.
So I'm just gonna play it on
Xenoblade?
Switch too.
Yeah, it would be Xenoblade, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. The closer we get, I'm just like, Switch 2's coming, and then I'm gonna be like, I mean, X is
It'll
coming
run
out,
better.
so why do I play? Why did I just play Chronicles X at this point? Yeah.
That's the whole
Um,
Xenoblade strategy, is to make a game that's so long that you can't beat it before the next
Yeah.
one comes out.
Hey, I
You
did
just
finish. I
eternally-
did finish Definitive Edition. It took forever, but I did finish that one.
Nice.
I figure I can probably just keep playing whatever I want to keep playing on the Switch 2. It's backwards compatible.
And it's gonna look
Just
better
gonna
probably.
I'm just gonna port over everything, from my library and that's my new
Mhm.
console.
Mm-hmm.
But saying that let's imagine that it couldn't do that. I'll give the answer Breath of the Wild.
That's fair.
Oh, that's interesting because that's the one that like I'm saving to play for a Switch 2.
I'm assuming that like let's say that there's no remaster of it coming out, nothing like that. What I would have to finish before Switch 2 comes out would be that game, I guess.
Sure.
But we know it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Some uprising, something.
Something.
I'm looking through my tiles. I don't think so. You know what? I've got an answer.
Hollow Knight.
If I get a free minute and a will to do it, I wouldn't mind jumping in and playing a little bit more Pikmin 4 before Switch 2 comes out.
Okay.
That's
real
probably one
pretty
that'll
game.
end up looking really nice on the Switch 2, though.
I think it looks nice now, but you're right. Yeah. Hollow Knight, Jason. Why you gotta mock me like that, buddy?
That's what I do.
And then Switch 2. Yeah, I mean, I think, Breath of the Wild. I would love to play a remastered, better, souped-up version. I think Bayonetta 3. I would love to play. Like, I definitely want to wait to play that. Oh, what was that? Sonic. The Sonic Shadows
Sonic.
Generations, whatever thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little rough, and I would like to play that better. So I'll probably,
I remember
not
we talked about
probably.
that one.
yeah, I played it for about 30 minutes on Switch, and I was like, Switch 2. Let's just put this on hold for a little bit. I'll come
I
back.
feel like I should finish the 1,000-Year Door, but I feel like I've had my fill of that game. It's too
Mm.
long. I really enjoyed it, but it's just too long.
You know, sometimes you gotta know when to fold it. Like, all right, this is enough. I've had enough of this game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I feel bad saying because I really like it.
Like I did with Alan Wake 2. Like, this is enough. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad to revisit, but I just don't RPG like I used to. I used to do this so much more. I used to play and beat Xenoblades and Pokemons and RPG and I just don't, and I haven't for some time. So
Now I think John 32 is just lying. He's just saying shit. That's also $15. You're lying.
he just really trying to get us to go to Target.
Yeah.
He just really likes Target. He has some stock in the company.
It's all part
Anything
of
else for-
their anti-DEI initiative.
my
They're
God.
trying to.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
propaganda against it all. Don't look over
Did
there.
you
Look over
hear
here.
the-
$15 games.
The original CEO's family, like his like descendants are like pissed off about that. They're like, this is not what he would have wanted.
This is how you get us to come back in. Like, look
My
here,
wife says she's never shopping there anymore, and I'm going to
You're
say we'll see.
Listen, look here, black people. We know we don't care about DEI, I care about you, but we got these games for $15.
I like Target and I'm mad.
Like, you know what? Might be a fair trade.
They always have the cutest stuff for Pride Month.
That is true.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
Pride
anymore.
Month, Black History Month, they usually do their thing.
Well, according to Google Calendar, Black History Month don't exist anymore, and neither does Holocaust Remembrance Day or Pride Month or Martin Luther King Day.
I ain't gonna bring up Donnie because I was gonna tell you something. I noticed somebody brought it, but I didn't realize. WWE did not acknowledge Black History Month yet.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't realize that till somebody brought it. Like, hey, usually like every week they have like a Black History Month thing.
Yeah, they do something. Are they not doing that like on socials or anything?
I haven't seen, or at least they used to have it on the show. I haven't seen it on social, but I know it on the show it's not there.
I've been seeing stuff. I just don't know if it's from them or someone else. But I've been seeing stuff about Kofi and different folks. I've been seeing like moments, but I don't know if
We
I don't
used
know
to
if
be a society.
I
That
don't
was like
know.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Jared asks, if you could build your favorite retro collection game to re-release on Switch, what would it be? It already happened for me, Jared. The Top Gear collection.
Mm.
It came out around this time last year.
My favorite or what I want to see. That's
You
different.
can build your own.
Because I would just like, hey, bring the Mother collection to Switch.
Okay, fine.
Nice.
Yes, I want that.
Bring that.
Good one.
Very
Like, there
good.
you go. All the Mother games remastered, one cart. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I want. Never mind. That's my answer.
I don't know if I have an answer yet.
I think we're gonna get. I don't know about collections, but I mean, the first thing I thought of is like Switch is. There's games on Switch. There's games that are missing on Switch, like franchises. Like we don't have the Tomb Raider games, right? So I expect Switch 2 we'll get like a Tomb Raider collection of like the reboots. I don't know if I doubt Capcom would do a collection, but Capcom has a bunch of Resident Evil games that but I think they're gonna sell them to us one at a time.
Yes, they are.
In terms of retro stuff, though, which is where my head is going, I don't know. And I feel like I
Retro
should.
Pokemon collection.
Oh, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Like that, you see that Final Fantasy pixel remaster stuff to the old Pokemon games, put them all in together.
I would
Mm.
cry.
Oh my God, people would lose their ever loving mind. But they would never do that. They'll do them one at a time too. They'll make more money off of it.
I would pay $60-$70 for a full remastered type of pixel collection.
Right, but they'll
Of, like, the
remaster.
first
They'll
5
remaster
games.
Yellow and sell it to you for
Oh my
60, and then they'll remaster.
Yeah,
Red.
right.
They're not
Yeah.
gonna. They're not gonna give you them all.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking Fire Emblem or like Rhythm Heaven.
For them
Do
having
like
like
a one big Rhythm Heaven. Here's all of the things together. Like that would be really cool.
That would be dope. I would buy that. Is Rhythm Heaven retro? I guess it is.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yuck.
I think so.
I would
yeah.
say so.
Yuck.
I mean,
Ooh, Parasite
when was
Eve.
the 3DS game
Ooh.
was what 10 years ago?
It's not retro.
That's 10 years ago.
It's not retro.
When does something become retro?
I would,
In the
She
I would
90s.
have said 7
Did you
years.
hear
Maybe
the,
10
did you
years.
hear the whimper? She's like,
Not retro, Donnie.
the 90s, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Give me Punch Out collection.
Ooh,
Let's go, baby.
that would be good. It would be nice to just see Punch Out again. Like it would just be nice to see Punch Out.
Or what's the thing? The damn NES remix. Give me that. Give me a new.
Oh, yeah, I'm all in for that.
Give me a remix collection.
You know, I know they would never will.
Is
but
that
I'm not
retro?
gonna lie to you. I would be legit fucking
It is
excited
now, Rebecca.
if 2K or EA released a retro collection of old sports games.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Like if they were just like, here's, like the legacy of the 2K series, and you get like a like 4 or 5 like NBA 2Ks, Madden 2Ks, and like they just put it all together. That'd be really fucking awesome.
Yeah. I think that would be great.
It's a shame that sports games, because they're so annualized and iterative, that people just like forget and get rid of their old games. Like those there's still a lot of people that like those old games, especially like the ones that are like different, like not just they're like the 2K5s of the world, but like NBA Streets of the world, right, and stuff like that. Like I think there's probably some money there for EA or 2K to make if they wanted to.
You know who could do that? WWE.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
to their old games.
their old games. Yeah, I
There's
don't
so
know.
many.
Like, do they have the rights to any of that stuff? And I know they're the IP holder, but like you wonder the publishing rights and all that. Like I don't
Well,
know
the
where that
lights
exists.
2K's
Same.
been going on. WWE 2K's been going on for so long. I imagine they could just use those games.
But yeah, if they could bring back some of those old games, SmackDown versus Raw, Judgment, WrestleMania,
see how long-
WrestleMania 8, stuff like that, that would be really
I'm trying
cool.
to see how long 2K's been making those games.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
they've been making those games since since the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can do SmackDown versus Raw, SmackDown 2. Look on the Wikipedia, yeah, so they can kind of
Like
do
you
that.
you could literally sell games like that. You could put them on the eShop for like $10 a pop, and I think people would buy them.
Yeah.
You could virtual console that stuff.
I think it'd be smart to do it too.
I think they should do more of that in general.
I
Me
agree.
too.
Finally, our last question comes from Yarden. He says, Miyamoto has finally agreed to retire, but on one condition. Each Nintendo Shack host must offer him their most prized possession or most prized gaming related possession. Does not need to be Nintendo related. What are you offering?
Why does he want my shit? Also, why do you have to agree to retire? Just leave. It's okay. Just leave. You're not gonna hold you here.
I mean-
we all spun around. We're like,
I don't have a whole lot physical anymore. That's great.
My-
I guess.
My boxed Chrono Trigger probably, but I don't. I mean, I feel like I'm willing to wait a couple years for him to just,
yeah, I can wait him out.
This is probably the coolest thing I still have. Is
Like,
just
no, you can stay.
Yeah.
the purple cube. But
Jason's
other than
gonna
that, I wouldn't. I don't.
$20
Doesn't
GameCube.
feel prized. But I mean, otherwise,
I'll tell you what, then, Miyamoto. I'll give you my son. He's a gamer. There you go.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Here's a child.
Wow.
Delvin offering his firstborn.
Yes.
I looked around and the first thought I had was how lame would it be to like give Miyamoto like a copy of a Nintendo game? Like he made and already has.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, is it my Ocarina of Time collector's edition? Like,
Yeah,
no,
like-
I don't. I think he's like, I've got 18 of
He's
these.
like, yeah, I have this.
Yeah, right. That's the first thing I thought of.
I have this.
So,
I have
I don't-
20 of those.
I don't think that-
He
I
points
don't
to a
think that
stack and it's
fits.
just in a corner. Just sitting there.
So it would have to be my Last of Us book.
He might not. He might want that. Oh, this is pretty cool.
That'll inspire him to keep developing for like 20 more years. It's like, wow,
we think-
good story. A good story game will probably like make him have a stroke.
Do you think Miyamoto has played The Last of Us?
No.
No.
I think he has. Just to
I
see
think
how
if-
it runs. I don't
I
think,
think
he
if
got into
he-
it like that.
I think if he played a game with such a good story like that, then Nintendo would not be the way it is with stories.
So is he just like not aware of the rest of the industry, or is
I think
he
he
just?
is. I
I think he's aware.
I think he doesn't care. Like we're doing our own thing.
Well, of course. No, I get that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that he's. I'm just like wondering. Like in my head, I'm wondering if like we all think of Miyamoto, right? We think Mario, we think of Zelda, and like, what if his ass just goes home and like logs into like World of Warcraft, throws on a headset, and he's like chopping fools Diablo, Diablo 4 like
I don't-
master rank.
He's a hardcore raider. And he just
Yeah,
goes-
like what
goes
if
down on
Nani.
we've got him all wrong?
I think you're
taking Molten Core
overestimating.
solo.
I think you're overestimating how much gaming these business executives do in their free time. I don't
know,
think
Phil Spencer's playing games all the time.
Yeah, on PlayStation.
That's what-
apparently.
that's what he wants you to think.
Right, I think he pays people to be on his profile. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Going back to last question. I had the Midnight Club collection.
Ooh, that's a
Rockstar,
good one.
bring back the Midnight Club games. Or Ubisoft, the Driver games. Both work for me. I'm here for both. But yeah, those would be great.
Hyrule wants you to explain all the Miyamoto hate.
I'm with him. I don't join you on this crusade of yours. I love and cherish Miyamoto and want him to be here
I don't-
forever.
I appreciate everything he's done, but I do believe his visions are holding back a lot of Nintendo franchises. And I think the games without his involvement are better these days.
Come on,
I think
Sonic
that's
Guard
probably-
was
I think-
amazing.
I think that's probably true.
I don't have. I just
Um,
don't want him to have my
It is
shit.
true.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think a
And
lot
I,
of that
I
is
think it's great to like I think he's a legend, and each game that comes out where he has held it back is tarnishing his reputation. He needs to retire.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is conjecture from what we've got from like little reporting and stuff. Like it's hard to understand exactly how much of that is true or not. Because he has had, there have been stories of him saying certain things he didn't want to have happen, right? Because he didn't agree with. Not everybody's gonna bat 100%, but I still think he probably is adding a lot more positive than negative. And also these days, I think to your point, Rebecca, he's not really that involved in much anymore. With a lot of things.
Yeah, he's not involved except for saying like, I want it to be this way. I don't want it to be this way. So
Yeah,
like,
he
if you're
is
gonna
giving
say
that
that,
direction.
be involved. Like,
That's where I disagree with you.
Can't
He's
have
earned
your
it.
vision.
he's
No,
earned it.
you can't. No.
Yeah, he's
Screw
earned
that.
it. He is
No,
the
you
company.
can't have. No, he's out of touch.
That's okay. He's earned the right to be out
No,
of touch.
it's not okay. Then we have
Well,
to suffer because of it.
it
And
sounds
the young,
like-
Are we
the
suffering?
young developers who are full of, Sprog are, can't.
They're
pursue
making
what-
Tears of the Kingdom where you build these giant death boxes and shit. Like I think they're getting their opportunity to do what they want to do.
Is this besides the scandal? Is this a Vince McMahon Triple H type thing, where Vince McMahon,
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
in terms of like a lot of stuff about Vince McMahon was he's out of touch. He's taking the company into keeping the company in the past. and then
it would be like that if their games were really, really bad and not selling, but they're not. They're selling like crazy.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of developers under Miyamoto and in creative that are doing really big creative visions. But
Okay,
to
so-
Rebecca's point, there have been times where games have been canceled or developers have said like, hey, we wanted to do this, but Miyamoto didn't. right? I think the big difference between our opinions is I think Miyamoto's earned that right. He's earned the right to do that. And honestly, if anybody was going to make that decision at Nintendo, I'd probably want it to be him. I'd rather it be him than Furukawa or some suit that has never made a game before. Like that being a very difference, right? Like I love that Iwata was in that role because he understood what the developers were doing. I worry about that with other companies like Microsoft and Sony, where you have a lot of non-game making people making game making decisions. I like Miyamoto's like, dude, he created all of this. Like these are his things. Like he is the whole company in a lot of ways. So if he wants to be like, no, I don't want Vicarious Visions to make that Donkey Kong game because I don't like that mechanic, then okay. I'm totally fine with that. It might have been a great Donkey Kong game, but guess what? He owns Donkey Kong. It's his Donkey Kong. Like he did it. So like that'd be like telling a band, you know, that they can't sing a song or something. Like that's crazy. That's their stuff, you know. It's him. It's for him to do whatever he wants to do with it. In my opinion.
I think the best games recently have been the ones without his involvement.
I agree with that, actually. Wasn't he, but hang on, wasn't he really involved with Pikmin 3 and 4? And those are pretty good. And I think I think those are the ones he was been most involved in lately. Because he's really not doing much with the Zelda.
I'm thinking more of like Zelda and Mario.
And like, Wonder, he wasn't really involved with Wonder a whole lot either. But I think he was with Mario Maker, if I had to remember correctly. But here's the thing, Nintendo doesn't really do a great job of sharing what all the development consists of, so it's actually really hard to tell how much or how little involved he is in anything. You know, like he probably just walks into a room and is like, this is awesome. And
I don't think he was really involved with Pikmin 4 very much.
Okay.
I mean, when you Google Pikmin 4 Miyamoto, all it is like those old interviews where he says it's close to completion.
Yeah, that's the only thing in my head is that
it's like maybe the early stages.
He was the one talking about it for many years.
Like
it sounded like he was, you know, at least involved in steering that team. You know, I don't think he's actually doing any development, and I don't think he has been for some time. I think he's sitting in a room just going, I like that, I don't like that.
Wow. Yeah, retire. If you don't have anything to contribute, then retire.
And isn't there's like a Japanese culture thing there where like a lot of people don't, or they don't for a long time.
Yeah.
So
I think
true. That might be a part of that too.
That was our last question.
Jason already quit.
Bye, Jason.
Yeah. Miyamoto got to him like, fuck this, you're not slamming my key.
He's back.
I am back.
We pulled the whole Jason quit.
Yeah. Again.
I won't stand for this slander any longer.
See?
I'm done.
Yeah, it is one of those things where I think it became very like a social media thing to talk about Miyamoto's involvement in things, why he should retire. And I think when Miyamoto retires, or perhaps worse happens, I think there'll be a lot of tears and stuff about how the legend
of course.
Miyamoto,
yeah, of course.
You know? So I'm just trying to like stay on.
I just hope it's that point before he overstays his welcome. And I'm glad, you know, Jules brings up a good point that he is, you know, kind of more involved with like the movies and the parks. And I think he is like right now he is the face of Nintendo. And, you know, I like having a face of Nintendo. You know, so I'm fine with that.
He's doing Conan, with that. Shit like that.
Yeah, that's the best possible scenario for him right now.
Yeah.
All right, that will do it for today's episode. I'm glad that we got our retro talk in. It was very good. And I'm glad that Delvin and Jason were here to join and talk about that. And I'm so glad that Delvin will be joining us on April 2nd.
It could be worse, Delvin. She's not glad for me in any manner. Like, everybody got an accolade but me. Like that felt very pointed and direct. Like, goddamn.
Love you, Donnie.
Donnie's here too.
Yeah, like very glad Donnie was here, I guess.
Donnie, you're always the first one I mention, as I'm here with every week with Donnie. All right, we will see you next week, Koopalings. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?